Take notes, NFL. That is how you handle your business against an inferior opponent. Let's go, man. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PLAYBOOKSPORTS on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. Oh, baby, did Miami come to play today. I mean, once again, absolutely pummeling an inferior opponent, 45-15, beating them by 30 on their home field. And yes, an inferior opponent, right? The Dolphins are clearly a better team than the Washington Commanders. But guys, this is the NFL. All of these guys are getting paid money. Every person, every defense you're going up against has players making millions and millions of dollars to stop you, right? Everybody is playing to win. Nobody is tanking. No players are going to just lose on purpose, right? Everybody wants to win. You have to go out and be better. And the Dolphins are doing that against these bad teams. And it showed again today, just absolutely slaughtering them, leaving no doubt. So let's go ahead and get into this Miami Dolphins 45-15 victory. And we're going to start at the quarterback position, baby. I gave you my Dolphins X Factor in the preview video. Was Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Tua showed up to play, baby. He just continued what the last three quarterbacks had been doing against these Washington Commanders. 280 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Thank you. And he only played 3 quarters, by the way. So a flawless game from Tua. He was spinning the damn thing, putting it in great spots. I mean, he would have had even more yards if Waddle hadn't dropped that ball that he was. I mean, that might have been a touchdown. Honest to God, that might have been a touchdown. And then Tua's numbers are gaudy, and that's okay. I'm not in it for the numbers. We're in it for victories. And Tua played flawlessly today. Running game. I'm just going to talk about it as a whole between the two boys, Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert. Devon Achane, welcome back. He looked explosive today. Those two fellas right there combined 3 rushing touchdowns and 116 rushing yards today. Washington's run defense is not the problem. They just get passed on like nobody's business, and they can't pass rush. But they've got good interior defensive linemen to stop the run. Didn't matter. Could not stop our running backs. Mostert just continues to find the end zone. His 14th touchdown on the season in 12 games. That's crazy. That is crazy. 14 touchdowns from Raheem Mostert? What? Dude's balling. Just finds the end zone. He's got a nose for the end zone. Him and Achane are an awesome 1-2 punch at the running back position right now for Miami. And let's talk of the man of the hour. The man of the game. Maybe the MVP. Tyreek Hill. 5 catches. Lower for his standards. I think his normally averaging about 7. So he wasn't exactly force-fed the ball today. But 5 catches for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns on 2 beautiful deep balls. 1 for 78. 1 for 60. Really glad to see that Jack Del Rio was the problem, right, Ron Rivera? That's why, you're calling the defense now. It must be better, right? Surely you didn't put a rookie safety on Tyreek Hill one-on-one in man coverage. Surely you didn't do... Oh, you did do that. Did that work for you? No? I'm surprised. I can't believe that didn't work for you. What are you doing? What are you doing with putting that poor safety on him in one-on-one? Tyreek cooked him, and at the top of the screen, if you watch that play, Devon Achane cooked his man too. You cannot do that. You can't do that against our offense. We have too much speed. Our guys are simply faster than you. They will outrun you, much like Tyreek Hill did. I mean, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns through 12 games. He's been unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is the second most touchdowns in any season for him in his entire career. Tied. He's had one season with 15, so he's still got time to break that. And last year with Miami was the most yards he had in a year, and I think maybe he had 1 year in Kansas City that was close to the number of yards he has this year, but again, we're 12 games in. They play 17. He's got 5 more games. He is just over 500 yards short of 2,000 yards. He's going to do it, man. He's going to do it. Loved it. He's awesome. Truly best receiver in football without a question. Argue with your mother. My Dolphins X Factor. Andrew Van Ginkel, baby. Way to show up today, kid. Absolutely played great stepping in for Jalen Phillips. Ended up with 5 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, and a beautiful pick 6 where he read the play. And he even said in the postgame, Fangio said this tackle, their right tackle, does this. It 90% of the time, or whatever the number is, means they're screening. It's a screen pass, so get out there. Van Ginkel read the tackle beautifully, read the pass, picked it off, housed it. Thank you, Van Ginkel. What a game. Way to step up for Jalen Phillips. Loved Emmanuel Ogbah getting a sack and then throwing up the 15 for Phillips. Those boys were balling today. Good to see. Let's get into the keys to victory I gave for your Miami Dolphins. Key number 1, they did it. I just had to say please. I guess I need to be polite. I'm very sorry, Miami. No turnovers. Thank you. That's all I have to say about that. No turnovers. Look what you do. Look what you do when you don't shoot yourself in the foot and take points off for your team and give points to the opposing team. It's unbelievable how that works. Number 2, I wanted us to stop the ball, and honestly, Washington ran the ball pretty well, averaging 4.9 yards a carry, 138 rushing yards on the day. But I think that's because Miami game planned to stop Sam Howell, who only had 127 passing yards, passing leader in the NFL in yardage. Most passing yards of any quarterback in the NFL to this point in the season held him to 127 passing yards. So clearly we had a game plan, and it was that. Which leads into number 3, defense, carrying the hell on. Another game, giving up less than 20 points. Bump. Defense just continues to play great football, man. Even losing Jalen Phillips, and didn't have Javon Holland today either. I mean, that's 2 stud defensive players we were without today. Hopefully Javon Holland's back next Monday. But even with him out, we held Sam Howell to 127 yards and a 19 QBR on a scale of 0 to 100, where 50 is average. He was a 19 today. Made him look terrible. Also, Terry McLaurin, did you play today? Because you didn't catch any passes, bucko. Oh, you did play. You just got absolutely clamped by Jalen Ramsey and the Dolphins corners. I mean, he was an absolute non-factor today. Literally didn't do anything. That's hard to do because Terry McLaurin is a very good wide receiver, and he was completely shut down by this Dolphins defense. And then number 4, I had sack Sam Howell. Maybe we only did have 3 sacks. That's okay. Ton of pressure on Howell all day. He was dancing around. Did have 2 rushing touchdowns. He had to get out of the pocket because the pass rush was getting home, and he couldn't find anybody open because we were just clamping him all day. So maybe we didn't get a ton of sacks, but we didn't blitz very often. We normally just rushed 4, and we were still getting pressure, just didn't quite get home. That's okay. And number 5, run the damn ball. Dolphins, maybe not the normal amount of yards. I mean, averaging before this game 138, only 123 rushing yards, but 3 rushing touchdowns. That's the key. Punch the ball in. Just a complete game from your Miami Dolphins today against the Washington Commanders. They won in all 3 phases. Field goals, extra points, all that jazz was money from Jason Sanders. Defense, offense played great. This was a true get-right game for this Dolphins offense, and you really like to see that as we have 2 more games against lower-level teams in the Titans and Jets, but it's the NFL. Any team, you've got to prepare for the Titans and the Jets like you're preparing for the Eagles and the Chiefs. Prepare for the good team or the bad team like they're a good team. Every team can beat you. And defense, just continue doing their thing, man. Dolphins are cooking. Defensively, offense got going today. Love to see that. Just an absolutely great game. Had a ton of fun watching it. That's all I've got for you guys on this game. And I will see you guys later this week for the preview video of the Dolphins Monday night matchup against Tennessee. Fins up.